RANDDER Booties. Really affordable. I posted in my post section, and I've been doing it every day on different deals I see on Amazon. I wrote a program, being I'm a computer programmer, to inform me of what's going on the way of deals. And they could be everything. I posted a link just yesterday on Jello, grape Jello. It was like 35 cents each. Today, it's back up to $1.50. These links I'm posting in the post section, when you see them, you got to jump on them. I'm serious. Because it may be mistakes Amazon made. It may be mistakes other companies made. But literally, you got to jump on them quick. I ordered like 30 boxes. And they'll be here tomorrow. But I mean, when my program pushes them out, I put them in my post section. You want to save money? Go check my post section. You'll save money. These are RANDDER Booties. If you can see that there. I'll have a link to them on Amazon. They're like 30 bucks. Most of the time, booties are very expensive. Okay? These do have down. Now, how much down, I don't know. I have no idea. It doesn't have, 800, 700, 600. It doesn't say. Now, if you're going super cold, like you're in Minnesota, you're in the north, right? You don't want these. You want Western mountaineering booties. They're going to be like 120 bucks, but they state 700 down. Okay? These probably are good, a little bit below zero. Now, the thing about booties, even gloves, even hats, that you have to understand is you can't just buy a super, super warm booty. And you kind of got to understand how your feet work, right? So if I was to buy a Western mountaineering booty, and I can afford them, it would be way too hot for Tennessee. Because I own a Western mountaineering sleeping bag already, as you see in my winter tests I did. Well, if I wear Western mountaineering booties with the Western mountaineering sleeping bag, oh, my feet would be sweaty. Oh, way too hot. And that's what you're trying to control. You're trying to control the heat for how bad your feet sweat, right? And only you know that. Now, I noticed when I did the test in the side yard, and I tell people test all the time when it gets cold, but they don't. I even seen a video of two young guys where they climbed up a mountain with their sleeping bags, and their sleeping bags were not adequate. And it was pretty dangerous. They couldn't even get the stove to light inside their tent. They had a hot tent. They had the wood, but the wood was too wet. They made all kinds of mistakes. And I was just like, I am so happy they got out and back to their vehicle, because that could have been a very bad situation. Test, please. Cold camping can be a lot of fun, but it can get dangerous very quickly. So why did I buy these? Well, and it's got feathers in the bottom. I can feel them. There's the odd bare spot. When I was out testing in the side yard, I noticed my feet were a little bit cold. Maybe a degree or two. I mean, they weren't that cold. And I wear merino wool socks. Now, I could have doubled up on the socks, but I don't like my feet super tight either. These are a large, which is the biggest they make. If you've got a 12-foot, don't buy them. Probably too tight. And that's the problem when you buy these China stuff. Now, a lot of times, even the Western mountaineering ones, I've seen people say, oh, I wear them at camp. And I'm like, really? You're going to wear that on the ground? And then it's going to get muddy. It's going to get, that's nylon. That'll tear very easy. And then you're going to climb inside your sleeping bag? That's not what they're for. These are like a pair of gloves. These sit beside the sleeping bag. Okay? And when it gets cold, I will put these on and then get into my sleeping bag. This is just one extra layer of warmth, nothing more. And because it's got that puffiness, as you can see, and I guess probably, I don't know, a good inch is what it is. It's not super thick. that air allows for the feet to get warm. So I had to go on the idea is, okay, my feet are a little bit cold, not a lot cold. Something like this would work, and like I said, they're like $30. And they fit me beautifully. They have a little bit of space around them, which is really nice. Now, as with everything, I took some Scotch Guard, as you see there. I sprayed down the top, let it dry, just to give it a little extra, little extra waterproofing. But you don't want to walk around outside. Think of these as like a glove. And if it does get cold, pull them on your feet with your socks on. Get in your sleeping bag, and because you're not walking around with them, you're not getting dirt in your sleeping bag. So now it gives that extra 5 or 10 degrees of warmth to make your feet feel better, which makes it for a much better sleep at night, is what that does. And that is very, very important. It does come in its own bag. Personally, they were in here pretty tight. I don't know if I could get those back in there. I would just shove these in my sleeping bag, or where I keep my sleeping bag is what I do. Let me show you something else. Now, this is something I do. This weighs under a pound, and this is a contractor bag is what this is. And I usually throw this where the water goes. You know, a lot of people carry that water sleeve thing. I don't. I carry bottles on my side. That's in there as an emergency. So this serves multiple purposes. So for example, let's say, so in this bag, I have 2 contractor garbage bags, and I throw them in a Ziploc. They slide in that water compartment in the back of my pack. These have a couple purposes. Let's say I'm going in, okay? It's starting to rain. It looks a little funny. Now, normally I just take my sleeping bag and I shove it in the bottom of my my backpack. It's what I do. My backpack, I have sprayed it with this, so it is somewhat resistant to water. But if it really looks like I'm going to be caught in that rainstorm, one of these is coming out. And it's going to go inside my pack, and then my Western Mountaineer sleeping bag goes inside, and then I roll it down. Now, inside this, on top of the sleeping bag, okay, I'll have my pillow. I'll put these booties in, maybe my gloves. I mean, anything that I don't want getting wet. And then I roll it down. These contractor bags can be used for other things. Let's say, for example, I cut one down the sides, I spread it out like a tarp, and I want to catch rain because it's going to rain. Perfect. Let's say I need something underneath my mat. I just don't feel right about it sitting on the mud. I'm going to cut one of these open, put it down, put my pad on top. So 2 contractor bags and a baggie, just under a pound. 1,000 different things you can do with these. 1,000. So keep that in mind. Now, like I said, the Booties are about $30. Are they best? No, they're not the best. Will they keep my feet? Well, I'm sure they will. If you are in Minnesota, if you're in the north, if you're going to a mountain, if it gets really cold, no, go buy a pair from Western Mountaineer or some other company that states how much down is inside their Booties. But if you're in some place like me in Tennessee, well, that's all I need. And I get to save some money because Tennessee does get cold every now and then, but most of the time we're pretty warm. Like right now, we're 60 Fahrenheit. A little chilly, though. Would I wear these right now? Yeah, because we'll probably go down about 45 Fahrenheit is what we'll go down to. Maybe 30, 0 Celsius. You know, I'd probably put them on just for that little extra warmth is what it is because I don't like cold feet. So it's a good idea. So if you like winter camping, think about a pair of Booties. And these would be better than nothing. I'm being really honest with you. A couple pair of socks, this, maybe a pair of wool socks. I mean, keeping your feet warm is very, very, very important to keep that blood flowing. That is very, very important. So, I'm impressed with these. I mean, what is it called again? RANDDER. The link will be in the bottom. You can pick up a set. Like I said, get a large. If you're a size 11, you're probably okay. Anything above that, no, they're not going to fit you. Your feet are too big. You might even need to get a pair of custom ones made. But I'm really impressed by these. I already put them on. I went and sat on the porch, and I put them on, just kind of sat there to see if there was going to be any difference, and there is a huge difference. So make sure you check my posts for the deals, man. I keep telling people about it. I don't know if you guys are using it or not. My program's spitting out stuff, and I'm posting there. You want to save money from soup to Jello to, prepper supplies, you name it. I try to really be very picky which ones I put up there. Ones that are 60% off or more. Really, really, really good deals. I have some other stuff coming in tomorrow that I'd picked up through my program. So it's pretty awesome. Catch you guys on the next one.